Okay folks, today I'm going to be reviewing a game called Casino Yahtzee. This game came out in 1986 from Milton Bradley and it is for 2 to 4 players. Now the object of Casino Yahtzee is you are going to be trying to score the most amount of points by the time the game ends. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be rolling these 5 different colored dice, and then with those dice you're going to be filling in different numbers in these rows and columns over here. And when you fill out the rows and columns, you're going to amass a certain amount of points. You also got some ways you can score some bonus rolls if you decide to. So, without further ado, here's how to play. Okay, everybody, as always, I'm going to go ahead and show you the components really quick. Right here you have your board. This is where you're going to be rolling the dice, and these are the grids that everybody is going to be using to try to score points. These here are chips. There is a white chip and a black chip. You're going to be using the black chip to fill in these numbers over here, and then you are going to be using the white chip to fill in the different scores. Anytime somebody scores from a row or a column, you and your opponents are going to go ahead and place a white chip here, signifying that that column or row is now closed for scoring. Here you have your dice. You have 5 different colored dice, and each of these colors and numbers are going to be synonymous with the grid over here. So whichever numbers you decide to choose, you're going to go ahead and fill in these numbers with the chips, the black chips. Of course, you have your little die roller if you decide to use it. And then you have your score pad right here. You'll put your name here. You'll put a score anytime you close out a row or a column. And if you get any bonus rolls, you'll put that there. And I'll explain how that works here in just a second. Now, basically the way this game works is you're going to be trying to score points, these points here that are on the edge. And the way you're going to be scoring them is you're going to be filling in the rows or the columns that are synonymous with the number. So, for example, you're going to score 15 points if you manage to fill in this entire column right over here. You'll score 4 points if you're able to score these 2 numbers. You'll score 25 points if you're able to score these 5. So you'll score 45 if you do this, etc. Just basically follow the arrows, and the arrows are going to tell you which row scores with which number. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll these dice, and you are going to be allowed to choose 5 numbers from the dice that you decide to roll. Basically what this means is you can choose to roll one die 5 times and use the numbers you rolled there. You can roll all of these dice at once and then just simply score the numbers on the grid that you roll. So here's an example. You can basically use any kind of combination. You can roll 2 of these twice, you can roll 3 of these once, and then pick and choose whichever dice you want to use. You basically just have to remember that you have 5 numbers that you're going to be able to choose from the combination of dice that you decide to roll. So, for example, it's my turn. Let's just say I decide to go ahead and roll these 3 dice. So I'm rolling these 3, and I've rolled an orange 4, a red 6, and a green 7. So what I can do is I'm going to just go ahead and simply say, okay, I'm going to keep the orange 4, the red 6, and the green 7. I'm going to go ahead and score these points. Now, after that, I have 2 more numbers that I can choose. So let's just say I decide to choose these 2 dice, and I go ahead and I roll them, and I've rolled an orange 7 and a purple 7. So I will go ahead and put an orange 7 here and the purple 7 here. Okay, let's give another example. Let's say it's this guy's turn. He decides he just wants to roll these 2 dice. So he'll go ahead and roll them, and he gets a 7 green and a 7 purple. So he'll place his chips on both of those. And let's say he decides he wants to roll these 2 again along with the red. So he'll go ahead and do so, and now he's gotten a 5 green, a 3 purple, and a red 10. So this is going to end his turn since he went ahead and chose his 5 numbers. Now, if you happen to roll a number that is already covered, say he rolled another purple 7, that is still going to count as one of his numbers, and he is not going to be able to re-roll. So let's just say now it comes back to me, and it just so happens that I am 1 number away from scoring 28 points. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and roll the red die 5 times to see if I can get it. So let's say I go ahead and take 5 attempts, and let's just say I happen to get the 7. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this right here, and then I'm going to score 28 points. So then I will go ahead and write the number 28, or just put a check mark over here under my name, and then I will go ahead and cover up the 28 with this white chip. And everybody else will go ahead and do the same to signify that this row has already been scored. Now, if you decide to, you can do what is called a bonus roll, and there are 2 different types of bonus rolls. what you're going to do is you're going to roll all 5 dice and just say that you're going to be going for a bonus. The first bonus roll, and I actually got it, is if you are able to roll 5 different numbers on the dice. In this case, I rolled a 2, a 3, a 5, an 8, and a 10. If I do that, that is going to count as a bonus. And so what I will do is I will just cover up whatever I can with the black chips, and then I will add the total of these dice and then write the sum in the bonus section over here. The other type of bonus you can do is called a rainbow bonus. And a rainbow bonus basically means that you're going to roll the numbers sequentially, like you'd have a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. If you manage to roll something like that, and I'll go ahead and just make it real quick here for you. If you manage to roll this is going to count as the rainbow bonus. So what you will do is you will add these numbers up after you've placed your chips on your grid here to cover those numbers up. You will then add these numbers up and then multiply it by 2, and that will be your bonus for that. So basically what's going to happen is the gameplay is going to continue on like this. You'll keep rolling, you'll keep covering up numbers, you'll keep scoring, and you'll just keep adding these numbers onto the pad. And whoever, after you finish the game, you'll add up your scores, you'll add up your bonuses, and then whoever ends up with the most amount of points is going to win the game. So my thoughts on Casino Yahtzee. Well, as far as Yahtzee games goes, this really does not play like Yahtzee at all. In typical Yahtzee, you've got 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, and all those little things you use to score with on a sheet. This game plays very much differently. Instead, you're going to be filling out these rows and columns over here, and plus you have these different dice. I'd say really the only similarity between this and regular Yahtzee is the fact you've got 5 dice and you can roll them multiple times. That's probably not the only similarities that there are. As far as the gameplay goes, the gameplay is pretty good. I'd rate it probably about a 5 or so. One of the downsides I've read is that this game can oftentimes get away from you. If somebody ends up scoring a lot, it can be awfully hard to catch up, and what you have to do is you have to start rolling for bonus rolls near the end of the game. But having said that, this game plays well, and there is a little bit of strategy that goes to it because you're having to watch what your opponent is doing, because if he's going to be 1 away from scoring on a big track, you may very well decide that you're going to have to try to score first before he does. So there's a little bit of thinking that goes on, and plus you also have to decide, do I want to go for a bonus, do I not, which dice do I want to roll? Works well. Anyway, that's my review, guys. We'll see you later.